Hi guys, so today we are talking about printables and I wanted to kind of talk you through them and show you how I've been using them and how I created the journals that are up for sale. I think I'm going to put them up for sale tomorrow at 2 if I can get that organized, so hopefully that'll be smooth sailing this time. But today I already have the printables in the shop and I put in a Christmas one, which I'm kind of just scrolling through here so that you can see what's actually in. So there's 18 pages and I'm kind of going to walk you through how I would use those pages and how you can use them to create several different things. So the first thing I do is just collect a bunch of different papers that I want to print on, and then you can put those in a stack and you can either print from pages 1 through to 18. So you could put those in a pile and take them to Staples or something, or you can just do it at home. And what I actually usually like to do is print out each just page by page. So this morning we're just going to print out a few pages to kind of show you. You go to File, Print, and then this box will come up, and then I usually click From, which is from pages, whichever page you want to do to whichever page, but I usually just pick the one page and then print out each page and just make sure that it's gone the way I wanted it to go. So I wanted this to be a really simple process for you guys, so I didn't do anything double-sided, so you didn't have to worry about flipping the paper or anything. Now you can always print it on the back of a scrapbook paper or other sort of coffee dyed papers that you have or anything like that, but I just wanted to make it a really simple process. And I also already layered the different pages, which you'll see, so that once you sort of trim around the edges, you're going to have a really nice start to a junk journal. So this is one of my favourite paintings actually. You can see it's a photo of the Nativity and there's some little angels peeking down from the corner. I really love it. And then you can see we've kind of already got a start to what we're going to put in. I printed out a couple of these paintings on vellum and old photos on vellum, and you can see how that kind of looks like parchment, so I really liked that. And then this is a page that I printed, which you can see here is actually smaller than the other pages, so it's starting to already create that depth for you and that junk journal feel. And then here is the ephemera pack. So this is, I think, 12 pages, and you get a whole bunch of different book covers that I thought would match nicely with the Christmas theme. And I'm sorry that this is actually late as well. This was supposed to go out in December, but I've just been struggling all month to get everything out. So here I'm just kind of showing you some of the things that are actually in the Cinderella pack and some of the things you can do. So here is some paper that I've actually aged with watercolors, and I'm going to do a tutorial for you guys on this and how you can do this as well. So I've aged it with watercolors, herbs and inks, and this was ledger paper, new ledger paper, so I really love the way that that's turned out, and I'm really excited to do a tutorial for you on that. So here I was kind of trying to find this vellum page and show you that in the last journals I did the first page as a vellum page, but I think in this one I decided to go with cotton, and then that's some beautiful handmade cotton which we'll also add into the book. So the journals are designed where you can either use all the pages and create a book, or you can use some of the pages and create multiple inserts. So you could use some paired with other papers that you'd like to put in, and then next time use some different ones, and that way you're going to get a whole variety of different inserts with different papers. And I think that they'll be really, really lovely to create, and they're fun and easy. They're stress-free as well, so because they're only one-sided, it's just very simple to put them in and then just trim them down and play around and and create whatever you'd like. So I've actually sped this up because otherwise we'd be here for 40 minutes. For some reason I keep trying to make 10-minute videos that end up being quite long. So here what I'm showing you is how easy it is to fold them once you've trimmed them. So you just sort of take the measurement off where the image ends and then you just fold it right there. So it's pretty simple. And I've actually decided to move the image over a little bit. Since it is a junk journal, you know, you want to create layers and different sort of elements. So I've decided just to pull the image over a little bit and crease it. And you can also see that it doesn't matter where you know, if you get the creases a little bit wrong, this whole style is meant to be sort of imperfect and to have that really aged and well loved and lived in look. So here you can see when I followed the line of the image on that one, it made a front flap versus the back flap of the other one. So, you know, you just follow the images and fold it, and you can play around with, you know, do you want the flap on the front or the back, or, you know, where you want everything. But you can see it's starting to take shape already just with 2 pieces of paper there. And I'm adding some mulberry paper here. So you can get some really nice papers at shops like Paper Source. There's a really good online shop, Hollanders, for bookbinding, and you can also get handmade papers like that one, handmade cotton papers, off Etsy. So you can see here I'm having a bit of a think about which way I want to fold this. So I've already folded it to where the rose on the left is at the front of the book, and I'm thinking maybe I will use the rose that was at the back at the front. So if that makes sense. So here you can see that's kind of how I've decided to use it, and this rose will be at the back of the book, whereas if you've watched the flip through of the Cinderella journals, you'll know that it was the other way around. So that's how you can customize these, and every time you create an insert, you're going to get a different look, which is really exciting. So here are some pages from the ephemera pack, from the Cinderella ephemera pack. And this one here you can see is just printed on regular printer paper. So you can get these ephemera packs and you can take them to the library, you could take them to Staples or somewhere like that and just have them printed out on regular printer paper, and you're still going to get a really nice junk journal out of those. Here we have a few other papers from the Cinderella pack, and I'm just showing you that one there that's the vertical one, how I've folded it and sort of creased the edges and aged that to look like it was just a piece of, something that she got, like a pamphlet from that time and just been stuck in the back. So that's one way that you can use some of the full page printables. So here I'm giving you a little peek in the one of the journals that I've created for the Cinderella collection which will be available, like I said, tomorrow at 2. And if you haven't seen the other video, I will link it below. But I'm just kind of showing you how I've used these printables, and I haven't even used all of the printables in here because I added quite a lot of other papers and sort of different delicate materials and things that I wanted to kind of use in the journals. But you know, that's the beauty of these printables, is that you can just use a few pieces with a lot of other papers from your stash, and you can you know, use coffee dyed papers and scrapbook papers, wrapping paper, anything like that, and craft paper, you know, paper bags, anything like that. And you can mix and match them to create beautiful, beautiful inserts. And you don't have to use them just as a junk journal. You could, you know, create a planner out of this. You could use it for photo, you know, as a, you know, for photos, and just all kinds of different ways that people use junk journals. So it's pretty exciting, and the thing I like about it is it doesn't have to be perfect. It's the beauty of it is the mismatched and the sort of collection of things that, you know, that it creates. So here I'm starting work on, I've wanted to do December daily for a few years, and I know I'm going to be late. I've been sort of planning out December daily, and I guess it'll be a bit more like a post December daily, but I've been wanting to do it, and so I'm really excited to use this printable to create a junk journal for December daily. And so that's what I'm starting work on here. And the paper trimmer actually tore off a little bit of the cotton paper here, but I was actually glad because it gives it that sort of already aged look. And you can see here how I age the edges, and it's just a lot of pinching and creasing until you get the sort of right look that you want. And then I was really excited. I printed the hanky on vellum paper, so I don't think I pointed out at the beginning, but you can kind of see through. I kind of showed a clip of it at the beginning, and you can see through it almost like it's the fabric of the handkerchief. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm just really excited to get all these pieces together and start doing the December daily. So what I'm showing you here is that some of the images, if you wanted to do double-sided, some of them you can't because they crease at the same angle. But for example, with the full page photos, if you wanted to put that on one side and then you wanted to print a foldable piece on the other side, that would actually be quite nice. And so I'm just kind of showing you here how you could do that. For me, I quite like having some images and then some blank paper so that I can start fresh from where I want to, but I know that some people already enjoy to have an image there, so that's definitely something that you could do. Or you could, you know, use scrapbook paper and print on the back of it. Here I've just folded this, and I really have decided that I like that, and I feel like I really want to make a little envelope folder with a little eyelet closure or something there. So I will be doing a little tutorial on that at some point as well. See that just with these 3 pieces of paper, the junk journal's already coming together and the layered looks really coming together. So I'm just showing you that with the offcut there of the handkerchief page from the ephemera pack, I think I'm going to use that to create a little tuck spot. which is super easy, and I do that in a minute. But here I've actually kind of creased the hanky lopsided, or sort of asymmetrical, and then I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to put that in the book. And I enjoy doing that with some of these types of, papers or pages, so that you can get pieces peeking out the top and things like that. It's actually funny how hard you have to work sometimes to get the kind of this was just put together and there was no work involved look. So what I'm showing you here is this was the image that I put in the middle of the Cinderella books. It's of Grand Central Station in New York, and I am trying to decide with this image, do I want to put it as in the center of the book, or do I want to make like one of those ephemera kind of pamphlet style books? So this is how I fold the pages that don't have an image, that will guide you. I actually fold the ones with the image first, and then I use that to measure where I want to fold the other ones. So it's a pretty simple process, as you can see. It doesn't, it's not hard at all. So here I'm trying to decide where I want to fold the paper. Do I want to see the first half all as one square, or do I want to see the back half? So I kind of decide I like the first half, so I'm going to make the fold at the back of the paper. And you can see how easily this is coming together. This part of the sort of video, I did the other part with the Cinderella inserts to show you, but this is actually coming together in about 10 or 20 minutes. So it's a pretty easy process, and you can kind of make it, I guess, as difficult or easy as you want it. So you can add a lot more time. Here I'm adding some wrapping paper, and I've just glued the fold at the top and the bottom to create a tuck spot. And okay, so I kind of lost you there for a minute, but here I am adding some glue, and I know that I shouldn't use my fingers here. I should use a paintbrush, but just for the sake of time, and I've just kind of, I like to, once you apply the glue, I like to sort of smooth it out so that you don't get those bumpy edges from the glue. And so you can see how simple that was, just to make a really pretty tuck spot right there. So you can see how nicely this is already coming together after just a few minutes, and even with putting this piece of ephemera in, that page is already sturdier with the wrapping paper there. So here I'm trying to decide if I want to leave the little angel there on that side and make a tuck spot, or do I want to flip that over and have it as part of the painting. So I think that's a painting where the angels appear to the shepherds, and so I think I decide to flip it this way. And then to create like a tuck spot with the menu. That's actually an old menu and I really love including these. So that's sort of the back. I'm already loving how this is turning out. And the other thing I wanted to say is you don't necessarily have to use all these pieces to create inserts. If you've already got something that you're working in but you like some of the images, you can use these to create tuck spots in your other journals. You can use them to create, you know, tip-ins or anything like that. But here I'm just going to leave you with this was actually, we got freezing rain, and so this sound is the ice going through the trees. It's really beautiful. So I'll leave you with that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.